Hey guys, Prithviraj here. A little bit of TLDR, AMD announced a new 4000 series Ryzen mobile processors, and ASUS Malaysia has graced us with this beautiful laptop right here. Yes, this one actually runs the Ryzen 7. And we reviewed the laptop. Our review is now live on our website, so you can check out the full review in the link down in the description below. But in this video, we're going to talk about the TUF Gaming laptop and what exactly the changes the laptop went through. And let's get started. And you're watching The Adventures of Vesper. Let's begin. Okay, now let's get the look out of the way, because truth be told, this has been something that I really wanted to talk about for the longest period of time, because the ASUS TUF Gaming laptop was not called the TUF Gaming laptop in the first. It was known as the FX series. And after so much of name, like so much of changes, like it was called the FX series, then it was called the FX series again. Then there was the TUF series, but we didn't know if it was the FX series, but the FX series was called the TUF series, and I was like, what is going on? But anyway, after so much of identity crisis going on, it finally pulls the TUF Gaming logo on the body itself. Now, for the most part of the laptop, it did not change much, but the first thing that you're going to look at it is the top here. So the panel here is now, it has this metal construction, which is really nice. And you actually can see these bolted-like looks on the edges, and finally it now has the TUF logo on the back of it. Sadly, it's not a RGB logo, unlike the previous generation TUF Gaming laptop where the ASUS logo had this golden color glow to it. But it's fine, I'm completely fine with it, but it's a really nice laptop and it actually carries the identity really well. And when you actually close it and when you look at it here, you will actually see the TUF Gaming written on it, so that's a really nice touch with this really nice like slash kind of design going on. This is a really nice touch, and other than that, the moment you open the laptop, it looks pretty much the same as the previous generation. And when you close it, you look at the back airflow vents, where the coppery heat pipes are pretty much visible. So they have these kind of really nice cutout that looks like an exhaust of a car. And finally, when you flip it over, you'll see these hexagonal shape with the Umbrella Academy logo, or no, it's the Umbrella Corporation, so sorry, logo on it, so which is kind of cool. So in terms of design, they have really added a little bit of tweak here and there to make the laptop interesting, or the laptop fall into the TUF territory. So other than that, the build quality on this laptop is pretty alright. It's constructed in this metal sheet on the top for the display, and as for the rest of the body, it's in polycarbonate. And it's also certified for military grade 810, if I remember correctly, so that's a good touch. And you can actually drop this laptop, and this laptop can actually take a beat. Just don't drop it purposely though. Now let's talk about the specification. The ASUS TUF Gaming laptop does not come in 1 or 2 variants, but there's 9 variants in total. So say if you actually want a variant that suits your budget, you can actually get that. But we're going to take a closer look at the variant that we got from ASUS Malaysia. So under the hood, it actually runs the AMD Ryzen 7 4800H processor. So you get the 8-core 16-thread processor under the hood, followed by a NVIDIA RTX 2060 GPU with 6 gigs of GDDR6 VRAM. And you also get 16 gigs of RAM, which can be expanded. And as for storage, you get a 1 TB PCIe NVMe SSD, which is an M.2. Now you can actually expand the storage by adding extra 2 storage. Yes, this is completely new considering for a TUF Gaming laptop. In the previous, we have definitely seen extra storage option in the other laptops that we have seen, but it's usually a little pricier. But in this case, the TUF Gaming laptop sports the extra storage. And what storage you can actually add? You can actually add another extra stick of M.2 and also add a 2.5-inch SSD or a SSHD or HDD, whichever you prefer. So the options for you to run the laptop on Write 0, it's quite high. And other than that, it's a very simple and very interesting laptop, because in terms of performance, it does really perform well. And when we talk about the storage itself, this is a little weird because every time when we did a speed test for the storage, because it runs on a Gen 3 X4, so it should be higher than what speeds that we got, but turns out we actually got a read speed of 16,002 and a write speed of 1662 megabits per second. So we are not too sure what exactly the issue is. The thermal pipe is definitely closer to the first M.2 slot, so the temperature might show a little warmer. But other than that, the speeds, we have no idea why it's capped at that. So what we did was we added our very own SSD, which is the Transcend MTE A50 SSD, which is also capable of hitting PCIe Gen 3 X4 speeds. Turns out that speed was also not up to what it should be because it was also capped at 1600 for the read speed and pretty much was the same result as the first SSD that we benchmarked. So this is something that we really need to delve into. So we will test more and more later down the line to see what exactly is going on, and when we get an answer, we'll definitely get back to you. But other than that, if you're talking about your day-to-day performance, the 8-core and 16-thread processor does put really well in work conditions. So during my case, I actually use a lot of Premiere Pro and also Adobe Photoshop Lightroom. So as you all know, these two applications from Adobe has never been GPU centric, and it's been quite a while since they actually released a Premiere Pro application that runs heavily on the GPU instead of the CPU. That's why my Intel processor just tends to find a hard time to keep up with it. But the AMD Ryzen 7 was also facing that, but it managed it really well thanks to the 8-core and 16-thread. So multitasking on this is relatively impressive. In fact, if you were to check out the Cinnamon score on the laptop itself, it's also really impressive. It actually beats some of the best processor Intel has ever made, and the score is actually pretty high. Other than that, if you're talking about your performance in games, your game performance, it's quite alright because it runs a NVIDIA RTX 2060. So the frame rates on Anthem, we have tried a few games. So we tried Anthem, we tried Metro Exodus, and we tried the Crew 2 and what else? Division 2. So we tried all those games on the PC to see how exactly the frame rates were, and the frame rates were quite alright. And thanks to NVIDIA RTX, now you can actually run RTX on, and either with an option if you want DLSS on or off. So the frame rates will definitely vary depending on what kind of thermal profile that you're using. So the laptop that we benchmarked to get these frame rates, we used it under turbo mode. So the turbo mode does offer really great performance, but the fan is going to be a little more louder. But if you're planning to do that on the performance mode or in a silent mode, expect the laptop to get really hot. And the temperature is something that we really are concerned with the AMD Ryzen 7 TUF Gaming A15, because the laptop temperature can actually touch up to 102 degrees. That's not a really great temperature because that's actually really hot. So with that said, we ran further tests to see how exactly the temperature has been, and the 102 spike hits really interesting because we are not too sure what exactly is going on, because the moment when you open up the laptop, it actually has improved thermal system that ASUS has been claiming for a while. It has enough copper heat pipes to actually cool down the processor and the GPU, but we have no idea why exactly it's thermal throttling so much so to a point the temperature is really hot. So personally, my recommendation would be, if you're planning to run this, you are better off running at turbo mode because you don't want your laptop to have that boiling heat. And the good thing is that you don't feel the heat on your the place where you rest your arms to type on the keyboard or your trackpad, so you don't have to worry about that, but the heat is definitely felt more closer on the back of the laptop. Other than that, the laptop in terms of ports, it's really nice because ASUS have definitely taken a really good approach with the ports, because this time around they have a DisplayPort 1.4 built right into the USB Type-C. So you're actually pretty lucky. So you can just go with the USB Type-C interface. This is something that I've asked for so long, and it's finally in the TUF Gaming laptop. Sadly, there's no SD card to be seen, so I guess the SD card is dead on the TUF Gaming laptop, because this performance does offer a really great experience for pro creators, and I do wish there was an SD card built right into it. Now, if you're thinking that you can use the display for pro creation, trust me, you are not going to enjoy the display, because the color calibration of this display is relatively low, coming in at 47% of NTSC color coverage. So the previous generation TUF Gaming laptop had a coverage of 72. So this one is definitely lower than that, but the frame rates are higher, so you get like 144 Hz adaptive sync. So if you're a gamer, you wouldn't mind the display, you'll be just enjoying the games that you're going to play with the display. But if you're actually planning to use this for editing work, my personal recommendation would be pick up a monitor while you're editing. So we have come to the end of the video, and would I recommend the ASUS TUF Gaming Laptop A15? Well, I would, because here are my 3 points. So for one, it's obviously the variants that ASUS offer for the TUF Gaming laptop. It comes in 9 different variants, so you can actually pick which one fits your budget the most. And the best part is that you don't have to spend a 6,000 ringgit on the laptop just to experience the new 4000 series architecture, because you can actually experience it with their entry-level laptop starting at 3,599 ringgit. That's great. Number 2, as for the GPU, you get Team Green, and we all know how great Team Green is. And NVIDIA GPUs on this laptop is definitely a really nice welcoming touch, so you don't have to worry about which game supports and which game doesn't support. And it goes up to support for RTX 2060. So you can actually pick your poison and go with it and have a really great time with the gaming experience on this laptop. And the display is one hit and miss. Now, if you're a gamer and if you don't really mind the display, your 144 Hz adaptive sync display on this one is extremely awesome. But if you're planning to use it for editing work, I would suggest pick up a monitor while you're at it. And finally, the thermal would be okay in a way, as long as you're running it on turbo mode. If you're planning to work on performance mode, just try not to use it for heavy gaming. And if you're using performance mode, I hope it's just for a little bit of editing or touch-up work when you're on move or something. And yeah, as long as you follow that, or as long as any of this, what I said, fits right into your list, then you're actually looking at the next laptop that you are going to want. So yeah, that's basically it. Before we end this video, huge thanks to ASUS Malaysia for making this video possible. If it wasn't for them, we couldn't have reviewed this laptop and do this video as well. So thank you so much for that. And if you like our video, make sure to give us a thumbs up. If you liked it, give us a thumbs down. If you don't like it, tell us why you didn't like it, so that we could definitely improve on our next video. And make sure to like us on our Facebook, follow us on our Twitter and Instagram, because that's where we post all things technology. And we have some interesting giveaways coming up real soon, so make sure to keep your eyes on that and take care of yourself, because it's this time of the year. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, this is Prithvi signing off. Take care, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye!